So I have slides, and please, I'd like everyone to find seats and get comfortable, because nor can I stand. But I also brought a cane, so if I'm going on for too long, you can yank me off.
The vaudeville hook.
But please, if you can, find seats and be comfortable. And I believe we're projecting them, yeah, from both of those up there. All righty. So let's get to it, Bernard. Go ahead, a second. Yeah. So this was just the photo they did down in Florida when we got there. So yeah, let's just jump ahead. We got to get to the money making. Remember, we want you to deep dig in those pockets. This is John Fadul. You notice the jersey says Needham. He's in second grade playing the Boston Raiders, because, as Greg had alluded to, Needham didn't have, or Wellesley didn't have teams when he showed up. And thanks to John and literally two other kids, Brendan Walsh, who's here, and Steve Schernicker, very graciously decided we're tired of coaching the best backs in Wellesley and having them beat us on Thanksgiving. And they literally moved using their insurance charter, their field and their equipment to hand a team back to Wellesley in one of the most gracious and cooperative plans that went on for 3 years. And so Brendan's here, and I thank him for that. Brendan's also the one who I showed up, and John could hit any receiver. And he said, your son hits every kid on the numbers, you have to coach. I said, I'm sorry, I'm in a startup. I run around on planes talking to states about 529 planes. He said, that doesn't matter. So I became the coach. My two favorite memories from that were, back then Brendan was a young Boston cop. And a big Irishman that looked just like that Boston cop out of Central Casting. And he'd come to the office and just, casually come up to my office. It was like, ooh, what's going on? Little did they know we were designing youth football plays. But that was a lot of fun. And the other thing I remember is, look, my longest day, I got up, caught the 5 o'clock to Chicago, jumped to North Dakota, closed the business with the treasurer. The governor didn't show up for the meeting, but I closed the business. Thank you, Peg. Peg now runs our company. So we got yet another 529 plan with Vanguard managing the money, and came home, went right to the airport in my suit, and conducted practice. And it was so much fun, and there was a lot going on. And I probably have people cussing me because they'd have to come out to the field to get contracts signed and approvals for things, but we didn't care. Brandon and I didn't care. And finally, the last thing, and I'll keep moving on because we want to get to your pockets. I'm not as gracious. I'm a little younger, and I'm from the backwoods of Pennsylvania. But Brandon and I will tell you that we were the only team that beat what was the dynasty of that era, which was Darren Flutie's native. And we beat him. Just once, but we beat him. So there's John. Let's jump next. So we got the programs over here, and this was the first, before they did this playoff thing where you could go to Florida. My James and Ben Rush, I think you're here, Ben, aren't you? They were on this team. This is the first Wellesley Youth Football champions in 2009. Oh, Rob, are you here too? Oh, good man, Rob. See you. But no Robbie. Oh, Robbie, way to go. I didn't see you. Good man. So these guys set the pace too. To be clear, Wellesley football, every team was good right away. And it caused us so many headaches. People were so mad and envious that it was something else. Next slide. So I'm going to do a little bragging just because, I raised these kids. There's John playing against Notre Dame in Fenway Park. Yeah. Next slide. James, who went to Brown, and the coach told me he had 2 800s in his SATs, back when they did 3 of them, and so 24. And the coach told me I did him a favor because he packaged James with 2 others and got all 3 of them in. and said, and he got the class of 1910 football trophy, which said he was the smartest kid on the team. So I'll take that. Now he's a greedy capitalist down in Manhattan. I say that with affection. Yes. Now Joseph is the one who, yeah. So the issue here, his parents are trying to figure out. So Joseph won all these championships. Like there's trophies. If I put them, they don't even fit on one table. How many trophies we got over the years? And then he went on to Milton Academy with Nate Stewart and won at least 1 more. And we think he either got bored winning championships or has deep-seated anger issues because I coached him for too long. All right? So he decided he was going to turn into Rambo. And he's finishing up at Harvard. Next. All right, that's it. So I have to tell you, I was a very good coach. I was. But I'm going to tell you, I think this is not serious. You all know. But I have to tell you, that doesn't even, I expected myself to be. Anyone who worked with me at our company that's here, you know I expected that of everybody. And that's what we did to this team. But the only word that I can think of when I think back on this time is gratitude. Gratitude. It's all I can think of. So first of all, Ann Marvin, by good chance, left running marketing, what was it, at Putnam, right? She ran marketing at one of those highfalutin investment managers that overpay downtown. And decided that she would become the boss of this board underneath her. This board was fabulous. They were committed, hardworking. I can't spend the whole night here because remember, we want your money. But every one of you on that board, I love you dearly. I'm grateful for when you stuck me with 35 kids. I'm grateful for when Jeff Renzella would have to disrupt me because I was always trying to cause trouble in the classroom with his brother Andy. I'm grateful for everything you all did to make this the best program. So good that after a year and a half we were the envy of the league. And so I can't spend enough time saying thank you to every single one of you. And Joe and Bob, I don't think you were on the board. I threw you in there because I know you did a lot, and John Daniel and Paul. So I already thanked Needham. I got to go on. Bill Tracy gave me equipment and taught me how to do some good line drills because I was a prima donna back in college and high school. And Jesse, thank you for everything. I tried to send you my best as a thank you. And then finally, the coaching staff. They're wonderful. I don't want to get into some of the conflicts we had because Dr. Yen was treated better than everyone else because he was a doctor. And I don't want to get into any of the quasi-revolts and over that because I yelled at the other coaches, and Doc Yen, because he was a doctor, and made me feel comfortable that I could do anything on the field. But we'll just move on from there. And thank you so much, gentlemen. All right, next. Let's get through this. So philosophy. I gotta say this. People would ask me, oh, who's your philosophy? Is it Coach Belichick? Is it this? My philosophy came, I'm not joking, from Sister Mary James. Sister Mary James taught, there's other people in this room who she taught. 2 grades, we had 5th and 6th grade. We had 8 grades in a 4-room school. And she taught us both 5th and 6th. And when you came into her classroom, there was a right way of doing things and a wrong way. And until you got it right, you heard about it. And in my case, and in Jimmy's case over there, we got smacked about it too. And no, I'm not going to tell you we were abused. We asked for it. Hey, if I had, I was always a smart kid. If I put my hand up and she didn't call on me, I would get mad and disrupt the class. So she'd come over and smack me. But anyway, some of the things she taught us, she said you grow physically, mentally, and morally. And so my first meeting with the players was always in front of the mothers. The mothers are always trying to figure out who is this guy. And the first thing I always said to them is, I said, look, I want to get this straight. I'm not your mother. And I told them, I said, you've already won that jackpot. And from what I see here tonight, that hasn't changed.
Yes, there you go.
I said, I'm here to mold you physically, mentally, and morally to be a contributor of worth on this team and to excel. That's what I told them. I said, I got to put my glasses on here. Never be late, you'll run. And you ran. It wasn't because your mother didn't get home from work. I said, set an alarm. You have that phone, you use it for everything else. And people ran. My best rule was homework must be completed before practice. So I'd get texts from mothers saying he didn't do his homework. Oh, I loved it. First thing I always did was two toots of the whistle, and then they got the thumb, you. And they knew why. What? I said, your mother doesn't need to text me. And magically, homework got done. And I partly did that selfishly because as a parent, I'm running practice late. Everything's got to be perfect. You have two other kids, nobody's fed, and if he doesn't have his homework done, you've got to help him with it. You're in for a long night over this monster who went from startup builder to whipping your kids into junior Marines. We learned proper tackling and blocking. It was the first thing we learned. I'm proud to say we played 3 games against Giants down in Florida, in addition to most of the year, without a head injury.
Yes.
Now, to be clear, you got to take this seriously. And there's no dismissing it in any contact sport. But head protection, the one thing I would say to these kids, I said, you've got bright futures. And if you bang your head, we're taking you out because I'm not going to let some stupid football game get your way. And we did that. And you got to have backup players, which I'll talk to a little bit, I'll allude to. 3 cardinal sins. They have to recite these. No offsides, no fumbling, and no holding. And if you do these 3 things, coaches, you'll never lose a game. No offsides, no fumbles, and no holding. And if you did them on our team, you paid. All right, you ran at practice because we did not want it. And the closest thing I got to a role model was Chuck Noll used to say that the first step to winning is to learn how to not lose. And so we tried to do that all the time. Go ahead, Frank. What you got there? All right, so this is the first week of December, and I'm out there having the privilege of practicing with my son because of all the wonderful people on that board and the coaches, and I'm going to get to the mothers in a bit, that made it all possible. Next. This play was our trademark play. The reason I have it up here, and coaches pay attention, you see how there's a right back and a left back? If you want every player on your team to run the ball, don't have a fullback, don't have a wingback, don't have a I, have a left back and a right back, and team them up. Every Thursday we had a team of compatriots that knew I'm the right and I'm the left. And every game, every player carried the ball. Now, not when we got into 6th and 7th, because they were man children, but even in 6th and 7th, if I showed up and someone introduced their grandparents to me, I knew before the kid did that he was going to score a touchdown that day. Because all I had to call was wing right 36 blast, and if he was the 3-back, he knew exactly what he was doing. We had practiced it, and it didn't even look like he was the big bulky running back. It looked like a normal play. Nobody figured it out until they saw him get up dancing in the end zone, because our normal backs weren't allowed to. We had the old, you guys are old, but Bear Bryant used to say, when you get in the end zone, act like you've been there before. And we didn't celebrate. We handed the ball to the ref. Next. Oh, this is what Greg Rush sent me when I sent him the invite to this. And I'm presuming, I saw Joe, I saw Brandon, and Tom's right next to him. I'm assuming he's talking for all of you. Because I've heard it from all of them. And it is true, but the only thing I have to say, it is absolutely true, is that defense came from an old timer named Jim Cody, who coached high school in the 50s in Somerville, Mass. And Brendan handed it, he had him as his old wisdom carrier, and we adopted it from there. So I at least handed the right playbook. But it is true, we had a great defense, we coached them well, and it was a good reason why we won so well.
Grab the A-gaps and keep contained.
I didn't hear that. Say,
Grab the A-gaps and keep contained.
no, by the end we were shooting the A-gap and wrapping the back. We got a lot better at that. Now, here it is. I'm going to come back to this picture. This is this is no exaggeration. This is the Michigan Bulldogs against our defensive line. First game.
And 99.
I'm coming back to this
26
picture
years old.
to tell you the story behind it. But what I want you to know is we had the audacity, and you remember this? We had the audacity to ask for the 5th grade birth certificates for 40 and 99.
Yeah, 99 looks like he's 26 years old.
Wait. We were scolded, and it was inferred that we were, I hate to say the R word, that we were implying that everyone just has documentation like you do in Wellesley. That's what we were told. That guy proceeded to 99 when he figured out that my son Joseph was the quarterback along with Josh Yen, but he was the quarterback and a defensive lineman, tried to squish Joseph on every play to get him out of the game. And he could have if he'd have caught him. All right, I'm going to come back to that picture. Next. The moms. Oh, we all live in Wellesley. You know how hard it is to get moms on board. I did my best, and I knew that success would make it more tolerable. But these moms made this team. We went down to Florida, and Lindsay Sharon said, "You're not eating Chick-fil-A every day." And they cook us meals. We go over to the house. They put up with me staying an extra half hour and telling them to go get Chinese food because we ain't going home for a while. When the kids were having one of those days where they just didn't want to execute, I wouldn't let them go. That's back when there was Chinese where Whole Food is now. But they were absolutely wonderful and did everything possible to support us physically, mentally, and morally. Cowbells, taunting the other team. Sometimes I worried for my safety. Some of these, like the state game and the game down in Connecticut. Yeah. Thank you so much. We had a game down in Connecticut that was so cold. It was literally 8 degrees with a 0 degree freeze factor, the wind chill. We played that game and beat a team twice our size. That's how we ended up in Florida. Next.
You were in shorts.
And I was in shorts. And that was the day I actually learned literally what it means to freeze your butt off. We had an impact. All these teams we went down to were big teams, inner city, had never been scored on, were monstrous, and everyone was afraid to tackle them. and we weren't. But the team we played for the championship, and this is your picture, they were so impressed with us during the tournament that they insisted that we come at midfield and literally pray together for a lifelong bond of lessons and good sportsmanship to come from this game. So I thought I'd put it in there. I loved it. And Ann Martin sent it to me to get in the piece. Next. So there's the national championship picture. The amount of stories, anecdotes. I could talk. This is the first time I've been like a weekend alive in a 2 weeks keynote. But I could talk your ear off for probably 10 days of this stuff and not be tired of it. But tonight, remember, we want to get to those walls, please. Next. So when we got home, we had a state police escort from the airport. Then we had a town parade. Then we had the firemen come out. We had all the news stations cover us. We had the Herald, and we were the stars. We got to do that little like roller coaster ride, I don't know if they have it anymore, of the Wellesley Community Parade, which was a fun year. And a fun year. And then we went back the next year, and we lost in the final game. Tough way to go, but we got it all the way back to the final. But anyway, it was a great set of celebrations.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, for me personally, like I would go into the store and the guy at the deli at Roach Brothers would salute me.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. People would stop me in the aisles, on the street. I don't even know who you are. You know? And I have to say, it was fun. Like, you know, I don't have a lot of ego. I'm generally a shy person. Anyone who's worked with me knows that. No, I'm not shy. You know what I mean? I wasn't the first one to party tonight. But anyway, we had a great time. Next. All right, now we're going to transition because we had 3 kids go to lacrosse for college. One did college rowing. One, much to my dismay, still does college boxing. And we had one do college basketball, but they don't get pictures. We give pictures to football players here. So Anthony Masori went to Westfield State, and that chubby guy there got a chance to watch him play against Anthony Perez at UMass. Yeah. Next. That was last year. Our last guys, so Josh Yen, look at that perfect tackling thing. So Josh Yen, since you're a bunch of sheltered New Englanders, Pomona is one of those small ivies out in California where all the smart kids go. And Josh is one of them, and he's going to be a star in life. And he sent me this picture of his tackle form, and I appreciate it.
Because you taught him that.
I'm proud of that, just for the record. But I supervised to keep Bob Wesley from injuring him. Weather cadets at Georgetown, finishing up. That's him making a pick. Burt Green. So again, for you sheltered New Englanders who think you're the smartest on the planet, and probably are, Grinnell College is in the middle of Iowa. I was a salesman for IBM in the mid-'80s, and they sent our best technical people to recruit at Grinnell College. I thought it was like half an hour away, and these people were flying all the way out to Iowa because, again, it is the elite school in Iowa, and Bert is a stud. Look at that perfect form. Great football player. He's going to have a wonderful life. He's a good man. There's Nate Stewart at Trinity. I saw your parents. Is Nate here? Parents are here. Oh, another great guy. Gonna have a great life. Michael Ahone. Look at this one. He's a senior captain at Middlebury, and he's still making great catches. Look at that catch. I think that's Wesley in his plane, but look at that catch. Way to go. His name's Louis. That's another long story that we can't share. His real name is Michael Ahone. And he's still a stud, and always was. Cam's at Yale, and look at him, he looks like a pro lineman. Now, admittedly, he's getting a second-rate education at Yale, but he's playing some pretty good football. All right? Way to go, boys. Now, let's go to the next one, Tim. Okay. I gotta talk about Charlie Seifert. Are his parents here? Oh, that's too bad. So, first of all, take a look at that menacing, nasty offensive tackle
Coach!
that went up against those guys down in find that picture for me. Find the picture of the monsters that went up against those Michigan Bulldogs. Now, Charlie Seifert
There it is.
didn't have them. Like I used to tell him, "Who feeds you the nice guy pills?" I tried to provoke him to get him mad. He was just a good kid, smart as a whip. Remember, I had all the report cards. I treated them like employees. I had their employee file, and Ann would wonder why I wouldn't give them back. Because I'd say, I want to look at them and see who's smart, who's good at math, who's old. But anyway, so Charlie is a great kid. He's small. He's not a skill player. So what do you do with him? We made him the center on extra points and shotgun. So go back to those monsters. So I also told Charlie that if I show up for practice and you're not on the other side of the hill with the kicker and the holder, kicking extra points over that back screen that they used for the softball, you're going to run. And I knew he would do it because he was a dutiful, great kid. Okay? So the rest of the story here, go back to those Giants. So I'll end with this, but the point here is Charlie Seifert. So, first play from scrimmage against these guys. I always took the ball because I wanted to score first to rattle the other team. Our first play from scrimmage, 3 of our guys were so scared they jumped off sides. So it's 1st and 15. Our second play, we did a lead, which means at least I hand the ball at the line of scrimmage so we don't lose yardage. So it's 2nd and 15. Our next play, I decide, well, we ain't getting anywhere. I'm going to pass. And so Joseph throws the ball to Anthony Perez, which would normally be a touchdown. Instead, the kid catches up with him 5 feet later and body slams him. So we got to talk him to, come on, get up. It might be hot and you might be bounced off the ground, but we need you. So we go down and score. The other team had never been scored on. The best part of the story is Charlie Seifert goes out and lines up at center. The rest of the team goes out. He snaps a perfect snap, and we kick an extra point, which are worth two points that year. So the other team looks at the scoreboard and figures out it's not 7-0, it's 8-0. And they're arguing with the refs over right 8, because it just dawned on them that they're down 2 scores. So that's how you beat teams like that. And you tackle them by not being afraid. And Charlie Seifert, so I had Charlie basically in charge of the kicker who was like a, crazy-headed, talented kick, like me as a kid. He listen to anything, run around, cause trouble, and be talented. I had the holder who was an excellent kid, and I had Charlie. And the 3 of them would bury the other team in the first series. And it was a great feeling. So fast, and I made Charlie in charge of making sure they did their job. So fast forward, his dad calls me and says, send him a video, he's graduating. So where's Charlie? His dad went to Michigan State. He's at the pride of the Big Ten, Northwestern. He is the chief engineer on their electric race car project, managing 10 kids. And I'm sitting there saying, you know what? That's exactly what I would have expected from him. Because he did the same thing for us as a board. So coaches, the lesson there is find what every kid can do to contribute. So they're not someone you gotta get their 6 plays and then have them watch. Find ways for them to contribute. You gotta be creative, and you gotta start at the bottom of the roster because the top takes care of itself. So again, in closing,
Here we go, Jimmy.
all I want to do, is say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and contribute tonight. This is for a good cause.
Jimmy, we love you, okay? Thank you so much. Hang on. Hang on one second. Hey, get these people in here. Come on. Seriously. Let's go. Come on, we're going to finish this up. Let's go. You got one thing to say already?
I got one other thing. Is it on? I got one other thing that I wanted to say, and I forgot you because I'm trying to rush through this. But moms, dads, coaches, when you're up on a Sunday morning and you look next to you and your son is strapped in the front seat in his pads, remember that time. It is the best time that you will have in your son's life. Remember that time. You'll see that image. At my age, I see that image every day. And it is the best time you'll ever spend with that kid of yours. To cherish it and cherish your commitment to this team. And the other thing is I forgot a page and I got to go back to it. I'm sorry. I have to go back to it. I'm just distracted. I got to read this to you. But I got to read this. The other, in this day and age, I'm sorry to be preaching, and I know you got to get moving. So, your sons want to be challenged. Don't believe anything else. They want to excel. And if your ground rules are clear, you have unfiltered feedback that is consistently applied, it actually becomes a letdown. It's not Stockholm syndrome, all right? It becomes a letdown to not be corrected and coached, okay? And some of the coaches in this room know, they'd look at me saying, what the hell is he doing? It was consistently applied. I want you to know that your sons understand joy, they understand building confidence, and the camaraderie of a team victory. Don't deny them these opportunities for formation. And the last thing I'm going to do is leave you with a quote from one of our players, Carl Callahan. So Carl ended up going on to Wellesley and turning into one of the stud athletes. And I got invited to a lot of graduation parties senior year, and I'd get pictures taken. And I was all heavier back then, God help me. But I would always blame Tom for being the bully and the mean one at those parties. Carl Callahan looked at me, he said, Coach, we were young, but we knew exactly what you were doing. And he said, you demanded the best of us, but more importantly, you actually believed we could do it.
Yes.
I went home from that party thinking, damn, I at least did one thing right in my life. Amen.
Jimmy, we love you, Jimmy. Thank you. Champion, coach, mentor. Jimmy, we got a little memento here for you, okay, brother, all right? Watch out, it's not connected. But anyway, look, everyone's here to celebrate Wellesley Youth Football. Tell those people in there to shut the hell up, all right? Hey, hang on a second. Hey, come on in here, come on. So, hey, here's all I want to say is a couple things. Number one, thank you everyone for being here tonight, okay? And this is a crew that includes not only people from the current era of Wellesley Youth Football, parents, coaches, families associated with teams from the 7th grade, the 6th grade, the 5th grade, the 4th grade today, but also from the Fadul era. And we want to appreciate everyone that's been here to kind of show up here in honor of Jimmy, okay? So, look, what Jimmy said here, it touches on not only the players, but the parents, but the community that we're in, okay? We're in a great community here in Wellesley. And if you don't shut up, I'm gonna come over and tell you to shut up, okay? Just so you know, all right? So listen, just 1 second, just 1 second. And then we're ready to rock after this. But look, we're here to raise money for Wellesley Youth Football. And thank you everyone for being here. Jimmy, thank you so much for being here, okay, brother? You know that, this wasn't easy for you to be here, okay? You came in here solid, okay? Thank you so much. You know that, brother. You know it. It means so much to me, it means so much to you, too. All right? So look, we're gonna enjoy the rest of the night. We're gonna have bidding over here at the tables. We're gonna have a live auction as well. But this is all about the community, okay? And I'm going to say something really kind of weird here now, but just hang with me. And I'm looking around and I see people here, and honestly, half the people I don't know very well. But my son went through a serious bike accident this week, and the outpouring from this community was unbelievable, okay? All right, the fact that we had people from every corner of this football community come over to our house, deliver stuff to my house, and make my son feel like it mattered, okay? So I just want to say that this community is ridiculous as how solid it is around football, okay? And I want tonight to be a celebration of not only like how great the community of football is in Wellesley, but how great Jim Fadul created around here with a national championship, okay? And the fact that, Wellesley football matters, okay? It matters in so many ways. So I want to thank everyone. I'm going to hand it off to our MC tonight. PJ, you want this? You want this? Whoa. You want this? Hang on. There you go. Go. Okay.